Today I've got a story time for y'all that I think you're gonna find pretty damn funny. Basically, me and a couple of my friends were on vacation last year at an Airbnb, and the neighbor of the Airbnb ended up punching one of the friends that I had there. Yeah, that's right, guys. It was just a very funny situation. I hadn't told the story before because my friend and the guy who ended up punching him were like going back and forth about some stuff, but that's all been settled now. So, yeah, I'm officially able to tell the story. He told me I'm good to go. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy, and just know it's a crapshoot, bro. It's a tale of betrayal, a tale of heroics, and a little bit of dancing.
The sun's down and I'm feeling it right, so tell me, little mama, what you doing tonight? You know I'm trying to hit it, I'm not being polite.
Alright, so in about January of last year, before everything popped off and the entire world shut down, me and a couple friends decided that we were gonna head over to California and just get an Airbnb and vibe for a bit. For those of you that don't know, when you go somewhere during off months, like California's kind of a summer state, January, February, you can get pretty good deals on Airbnb, and we ended up getting like 30% off this pretty cool house in Palm Springs. It had a pool, it was kind of like a little bit of a mansion, you know. Palm Springs is this desert town in California, kind of similar to Las Vegas, like temperature and climate wise, and we were all pretty hyped, bro. It was me, my roommate Zach, and like a couple other IRL friends, people that, you know, aren't on the internet, but it was probably about 4 or 5 of us, I want to say, and then a couple people ended up bringing their girlfriends, so it's probably a group or 7 or 8 of us, and this house fit everybody comfortably, you know? Anyways, we get to the Airbnb, and we're just kind of like unpacking and whatnot, and as we're unpacking, the guy who lives across the street comes over to us, and he's one of those dudes who's like wearing a straw hat in the middle of a city, and he's got his cowboy boots on and his jeans, and he's chewing on a piece of straw. And listen, I've got nothing against people that are country. Most of my dad's side of the family, like my grandpa and stuff, is from Mississippi, grew up on farms. Like, I'm used to country people, bro. The only difference is we're in the middle of Southern California in like a residential neighborhood, and this dude's acting like he's about to herd the cattle. And he walks up to us and he's like, I just want you guys to know that if there's any partying going on tonight, I will be calling the police. This is simply not going to be acceptable. I understand that this is an Airbnb, but if you guys do get reckless, the police will be called. And obviously, we haven't even done anything yet. Like, we're just unpacking the car. This guy's just been watching us unpack the car. And I'm not really trying to have a problem, so we look at him, we're like, yeah, of course, you know, if there's any problem, you can always come ask us to quiet down. Like, we're not gonna try to be disruptive. And apparently that was the wrong thing to say, dude, that like, you can always come ask us to quiet down, because he's like, no, you expect me to interrupt my daily schedule and go over there to knock on the door and ask you to quiet down if you guys are being disruptive to the neighborhood that I pay to live in? Are you kidding me? And I was kind of like, okay, well then call the cops, dude. I was just trying to give him an easier way of getting us to quiet down, kind of letting him know like we're on his side, we're not gonna sit here and try to cause problems, because we really weren't, you know what I mean? Like, we were not gonna sit here and try to fight with them, obviously. We're just here to have a good time. It's not the end of the world. Anyways, he's just kind of standing there after telling us he's gonna call the cops, and we're just awkwardly staring at each other, and he's like, I've got my eye on you, and he goes back across the street, and obviously everybody's still kind of outside just is giggling a little bit, because it was just super weird. Like, you know when a really old dude comes up and tries to be all macho and like intimidating, and you know, it's just not really working? Like, regardless of whether or not you're in a nice neighborhood, dude, you're still an overweight old man, and I'm like a 21-year-old in the prime of my physical career, bro. I'm ripped, I'm jacked, spending 87 hours a day in the gym. I'm pretty sure I could bench press a Fiat 500 easily. Jokes aside, you know, it was just very awkward that he like came over to press us, especially because we were being nice. Like, he decided to choose violence on this day. So whatever, we go inside, we get our speaker set up, and we're just kind of sitting out by the pool, having ourselves a good time playing on the speaker. And we were trying to keep the music down. In fact, the entire like first couple hours we're there just goofing off by the pool. We're playing music on a speaker in the backyard, and neither neighbor on the right or left or behind had anything to say. Like, they weren't bothered at all. In fact, one of them like came out into the backyard and like waved at us over the wall, like we met him. So like, nobody that was immediately around the backyard where the music was actually being played had any problem with the music being played. And for a couple hours we had no issue, but as the sun started to go down, all of a sudden, like, the vibes kind of shifted. You see, over on the West Coast, sometimes the sun can set pretty late, like it goes down at 7 p.m. That being said, I feel like 7 p.m. does not fit the definition of late. Like, if you really wanted me to get technical here, I think the time you have to start, like, being quiet in your backyard just out of respect for everybody else is probably 9:30, 10 p.m. Definitely not like 7:10, okay? The sun is literally still setting. We can see a little bit of the sunlight coming over the mountain. But regardless, we're playing music, hanging out in the backyard, and all of a sudden the side gate to the house opens up and we kind of hear it swing open. And I don't live at this house. Like I said, it's an Airbnb. So I just kind of start looking around, and I'm looking at the side yard, and around the corner comes like the old man with his cowboy boots and his straw hat from earlier. Except he's looking very unhappy with us. My lord, you would have thought we just told him his wife was a 2 out of 10. And he starts asking us, do you know what time it is? Do you have any idea what time it is? And I happen to be wearing an Apple Watch, and we had been hanging out by the pool all day, so I might not have been like in the best state of mind ever. And for some reason, I decided to like literally answer his question. Do you have any idea what time it is? So I look at my watch and I go, yeah, it's 7:15. And he thought that I was being a smart aleck, which, to be fair, even if I was, you're the one who just walked into the backyard of the house you don't own asking if I know what time it is, and I answered. So like, hey dog, not my issue. So he kind of walks up to me and he's like, don't you think that's a little late to be having a party? And honestly, my answer to that was no. I was like, no dude, it's 7:15. And he's like, the HOA rules in this neighborhood are simple. Once the sun goes down, no more noise in the backyard. My wife and I have been trying to sleep, and you guys are over here being way too loud, causing way too much of a ruckus. Except he's close enough that every time he's yelling at me, like, I'm kind of feeling light flecks of spit kind of hit my face a little bit, you know, when somebody's that close and they're yelling at you. And I'm just straight up annoyed with this dude because, first of all, I don't live here. I don't know how you expect me to know the HOA rules. And B, dog, you and your wife have been trying to sleep. The sun just went down. It is 7 p.m. What are you talking about? And we're not blaring music. If our music was really so loud it was keeping the people across the street up at night, I'm pretty sure the neighbors on either side of the house and behind us would have had a problem. Like, hey guys, can you keep it down? I'm trying to think, but your music is playing so loud my house literally won't stop shaking. So we're just kind of like, this is probably bad. We were a little tipsy. We just start kind of giggling because we're just like, what is going on? Well, one of my friends who was kind of standing off to the side of me has a very unique laugh. It's really, really annoying. To most people, I think it's hilarious, bro, because for some reason, bro, I don't know if it's something my parents did to me when I was a kid. I think people getting annoyed is low-key hilarious. Like, trolling is funny. So he starts doing his laugh, and it actually is his laugh. Like, it's not even fake, but it's very loud. And the old guy kind of, his attention is directed to the laugh, and he's like, oh, what's so funny? What's so funny? And like I said, we've been hanging out by the pool all day. You know what I'm saying? So my friend just starts saying, dude, I just think it's funny that you're going to bed at 7 p.m. Like, who does that? I thought old people that go to bed that early were like a joke. I didn't realize they were real. And the old guy is like, oh, do you have any idea, like, what I've been through in my life? Do you have any idea who I am? And my friend's like, no, and I don't really care, to be honest with you. And obviously, I know there's gonna be some people in the comments like, you should have been nicer to this guy. But listen, he came into the backyard of this house he doesn't own without permission and just started yelling at everybody that we were being too loud at 7 p.m. because him and his wife were trying to sleep when nobody else had complained about noise at all. And genuinely, I'm not the type of guy who's like just gonna beef with somebody for no reason. He would have knocked on the door, hey, we're trying to go to bed, can you please turn it down a little bit? It's not like I'm gonna tell him no, spit in his face, slap him in both eyes and say, grab his nipples and spin him in a circle. Like, we would have been fine. He chose this path, bruh. So my friend and him are kind of going back and forth. He's like, nah, it's just weird you're going to bed at 7 p.m. Do you have any idea who I am? That whole stick. And the more they're going back and forth, it's clear that this guy clearly thinks he's like really, really important, bro. That everybody should just be listening to him at all times, as if the most crucial thing in life is for this guy to be in charge of you. And we were just having none of it. So he's getting increasingly agitated. And finally he's like, yeah, well, my net worth is more than all of you kids combined. And, you know, this guy is probably like 50, 60, like, in all honesty, I would say mid 50s. And so it's like, yeah, all right, bro, cool, good for you. In 50 years, you have somehow managed to get more money than a group of 20-year-olds. Would you like a round of applause, dog? Like, I don't really know what he wanted. But my friend's response to that is, oh, okay, I get it. So you're definitely compensating for something. That's why you have to bring this up. Which is kind of a funny comeback. Like, oh, yeah, you're talking about how rich you are. Must be because you're not packing down there. That's a pretty funny innuation. Insinuation? I don't know what the word is. I'm trying my best out here, y'all. English is not my first language, except for the part where it is. All right, guys, I'm going to interrupt the video for 1 second. On screen now is actually an Xbox gift card. I give one of these away every single video here on this channel as a way to just say thank you to everyone who's subscribed with notifications on. If you don't have those on already, you might as well subscribe. I'm literally giving away money and you got nothing to lose. The content's free. You can always unsub later. And if you are a part of the group of people that is definitely subscribed with notifications on already, you are much appreciated. It helps out the channel a ton. But yeah, on that note, I'll shut up and let you guys get back to the story time. Enjoy. And that one really rubbed a nerve. I'm not saying that my friend was definitely right and that's what was going on, but what I will say is this dude's next action was to punch my friend in the face, which, you know, definitely was unexpected, bro. So he hits my friend, and the only problem is, like, after he hits my friend, he's like, yeah, you like that? And my friend just smiles and said, bro, you're so old. Also, I didn't kill this guy on purpose. I just don't want you guys to think that I was like that poopy stinky. Anyways, he's like, yeah, how'd you feel about that? And my friend's like, oh, that wasn't that bad, to be completely honest with you. Like, you kind of hit weak. And so the guy reaches back and hits my friend again. And at that point, we all get in the middle, bro. We're like, all right, you need to calm down. And he's like, turn down your music, da-da-da-da-da. And my friend looks at this guy now after he's punched him in the face twice, and he goes, yo, all that money and you're just gonna be punching random people in the face? Probably not too smart, bro. And the guy just, his eyes get all wide and he's like, oh, crap. And once he registers that it's probably a really bad idea that he just did that, he like leaves the backyard with speed, right? And we honestly just go back to having a good time. We turn down the music a little bit, but we kind of forget about it. Like, we just didn't really think about it too much. We were just kind of in the vibe to have a good mood. And also, it was pretty funny. Like, at no point any of us were scared. And honestly, we had completely forgotten about the entire thing. Like, it was all good. Nothing was really wrong about it. Like, obviously, what he did was wrong, but you guys get what I'm saying. We were not, like, sitting here stewing, talking about how we were actually going to try to ruin his life. My friend was just trying to, like, talk crap. That's just what you do. Well, the next morning, we wake up to knocking on the door, and I go to open the door, and I open it, and it's this old guy and his wife, and they have, like, a fruit basket, and the wife just starts profusely apologizing for this guy's behavior. She's like, you know, I don't know if your friend's around, but like, we would really like to talk to him and see if there's anything that we can do to like rectify the situation. I understand legal action was threatened and we would just really love to like do anything possible to prevent that. So I go wake up my friend and he goes out there and like they close the front door and they're talking for a while. And my friend comes back in and he's like, bro, they just offered me a job. I guess they had like owned some company or whatnot. And like they felt so bad about this dude going off and punched him in the face that they offered him a job. And my friend was like, yeah, I don't know. And I will say there were some things about the job that I like can't go into. My friend ended up quitting now, but it was a pretty good job. Like, I'll say that much, bro. He had to sign a disclosure agreement about the employment, so I can't go too into it. But I'll put it this way, bizarrely, I think getting punched in the face by this dude was somehow the best thing that had ever happened to him. Low key, I wish I would have gotten punched in the face that hard, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's gonna do it for the video, guys. Hopefully you you enjoyed. If you did, I would really appreciate you taking just a quick second to press the like button. It helps out the channel a bunch, and commenting does as well. If you don't know what to comment, just comment the word poop sock down there. It really does help me out a bunch. Real talk, though, occasionally getting punched in the face is a good thing, is the moral of this story, I guess. Not that there's usually a very good one in my stories. If you guys want more content, I do have a podcast called The Scuffed Cast. You can find the link to that down below. Feel free to go check it out, along with the link to the intro song. If you feel like giving that a listen, you can click the Spotify link down there. And if you really want to support the channel, the link to the merch store is also down below in the description. My Instagram's @Scrubby. If y'all got any crazy stories you think would be good on the channel, feel free to send them in over there. And my Twitter is @Scrubby_69. And yeah, on that note, guys, don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I will see you guys all next time with another video. I'm out. Peace.